Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions. Anar Mammadov, thank you so much for being our guest on the Mike Litton Experience. I'm super excited for our time together. And like we talked about before we hit record, everybody has a story. And our passion is to help them tell it. So with your permission, we're going to start with where you were born, go all the way up to today. And we want to talk about this amazing business that you've built, right? That's now in 38 states. I mean, this is incredible. Congratulations, by the way, on your success. So let's start with your permission. Let's start with where you were born.
Yeah, so first of all, Mike, thank you just having me in your show. My name is Anar. I'm actually the technical founder of the company called SenPex. Well, I've born in just small European country called Azerbaijan. It's just like
Okay.
8 million population of the country. I grew up during Soviet Union time, so I remember those days, like kind of, just a big kind of challenging periods, like when the Soviet Union has been collapsed. I was actually kind of, just kind of teenager at that time.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like pretty much yeah, so like we speak 4 or 5 languages, including Russian, Turkish. By the way, this type of interesting culture there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I grew up there and just I educated a couple of the degrees. I'm mainly the technical architect and technical person, which is building a lot of systems so
Mhm.
far. Like mainly, we did a lot of software for the government institutions, for educational, and specific for the logistic industry. We did a lot of projects, basically in the Europe and also here in the US. And then a while back, like 8 years ago, I was just start deciding like I'm doing a really good job working for someone else for someone else's pocket. I'm
Mhm.
making good money. They're bringing those big deals and contracts. Why
Mhm.
not to work for myself, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, at that purpose is the best for me. We just basically move here as an immigrant, getting my intellectual base, green card as a extraordinary abilities. I moved here. So
Mhm.
basically, yeah. So right now we established a company. It's pretty much growing. And we're operating in 38 states. There's more than 50,000 Americans works for us. Making great money now through our platform. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's just kind of brief my story about like where I've born and like
Yeah.
how things. But there's a lot of things we can discuss in more detail. But that's
Sure.
that's in short about me.
So let me ask you this. You were born and raised in Azerbaijan, right? And
Right.
Azerbaijan, for people that don't know, is in the Eastern Bloc of, or what used to be the Eastern Bloc of Europe, right? So, and it was part of the Soviet. It was part of the Soviet Union. And when the Soviet Union broke up, Azerbaijan became its own country, its own independent country. And it's in the Balkan area, right?
Yeah.
Balkan states.
So basically, no, it's basically we are after us it starts Asia. So there's a Caspian Sea.
Yep.
Probably you know that where is the Caspian Sea. So like
Uh-huh.
we bordering with Russia, with Iran, with
Gotcha.
Turkey. So
Gotcha.
and then Caspian Sea and the Kazakhstan starts Asia. So yeah, we're just after us it starts Asia. So
Gotcha. Okay. So that helps for people that, right, that don't know exactly where it is. Cause I don't, obviously it's not something I look up every day on the map. I mean, I know where Iran is and I know where Iraq is, you know what I mean? So that helps a lot. Thank you. So you grow up in Azerbaijan. What was your favorite thing about growing up there?
just favorite thing is, be honest, like first of all, the culture, in my opinion, as a country wise, just respect. And there's a big kind of, there is a big kind of different comparing with capitalism countries like US. Be
Mhm.
honest, there's a lot of pressure here. There is a big kind of more um, culture oriented, people oriented approach mostly there as well. But you know, yeah, the kitchen is great. Like the meals are really great. Um, um, so this is the excitements we had regarding the country. There's a lot of other advantages that the country has. Like right now, there's a lot of European games is happening there, and etc.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So growing up, who was the most influential person to you?
Influential person the, well, I have a couple of the peoples in my mind
Okay.
who are just mainly the writers, just kind of excited me so far. Mainly those people are just the managing the countries in that places. Plus, if we're talking about the business side, I do had a lot of my previous managers who was
Mhm.
actually in their home country and also in the Europe. Are really excited about their skill sets, approach, the visionary approach, the way how they're thinking. This is very important. And in my opinion, these type of thoughts are very important if you're business building the business. There's mostly like scale of a business.
Right.
Actually, I'm thinking this is very important. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot of businesses there. Like, you can create a stores, you can create a restaurant and just start building. But most important things that how you envisioning the business, like scalable, you can look forward for like just solving the big problem in the world. That's actually the mainly and how we can make sure like building the business on the way of like it can be scaled. It doesn't matter where you located, but it can be worked, it can be operated. That's for that visionary point of view. I have a couple of the managers, couple of the mentors, and even here in the US, I got bunch of those mentors who can really help me at the beginning, including the building the pricing algorithms, building the visionary approach of the doing things, just
Mhm.
on right way. And yeah, so that's we had. So like I had two couple of the mentors who's actually managing and helping me with suggestions, directions, etc.
Okay. Cool. So you're in Azerbaijan up until 8 years ago, and you
Uh,
make the go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I lived there and just lived in Europe, some in Turkey and Ukraine. There's a couple of the countries I lived before, but yes. So
Okay.
then, 8 years ago, I just moved here, establishing the business there.
So here's a question for you. So you
Mhm.
lived in Turkey, you lived in Ukraine, you lived in different places, right, in Europe. What made you make the decision to move to the US?
Well, I mean, firstly, the environment, right? So, like, the business environment is definitely pretty much different comparing with the Europe,
Right.
even with the Asia market.
Sure.
Second is the population and the demands for that because like with full understanding, like if you're building the business, let's say even in our home country
Mhm.
and registering in the home country or comparing, let's say you're just building the business here in the US, including the Silicon Valley, that where I'm from. So like I live in actually right now in San Francisco. So basically the first of all important thing is the valuation of the company. So if the company, US based company, there's huge value of that, right? That there's a value of the company. And the second is like population demands. There's a lot of demands. You can do a lot of like really great activities. Second thing is like regulation and tax related activities. So this also kind of really interesting on the way of like the way how things goes. So right from 2021, I became cash positive paying the tax, and I'm really proud of that.
Mhm.
But overall, no control. You can do whatever you want on the way of like if you're doing things right,
Mhm.
you can grow. And there's a lot of demands. There's a lot of yes competitions as well. But if you're just smart, you're just doing the right approach and be honest first of all,
Mhm.
and very hardworking person definitely. So you can reach your success, and that's what I did so far. And I'm really happy, and I really learned a lot because even I'm technically a person like in while back in my home country, I was just kind of small employee working for the big companies, including Microsoft as well, by the way. I work for a lot of corporate level companies,
Okay.
but I decided, you need to be the boss for be your own boss, do
Mhm.
whatever you think to do, and
Mhm.
work for your own pocket. Yeah, that's reason that's here. It's a lot of stress again. There's a lot of kind of challenges. There's a lot of every day there's a new problems you're getting, and you're the one person as the business owner. You have to solve the like very challenging problems. Those
Yeah.
problems is actually your employees cannot solve it, right?
Yeah.
So every time you're seeing those type of challenges, but that's really I'm happy. That's not actually just feel me bad that hey, maybe I can easily get in other jobs right now, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. And
Right.
even with the big corporates, I got a bunch of the offers so far.
Mhm.
But the reason I'm not doing it because I want to become like independent. I want to do whatever I think is the best to do.
Yeah.
I want to fail if it's needed and learn from those failure and just grow. And then while you're just growing and learning and you're just aggressively doing it just as a full time, this is
Mhm.
which is my strongest suggestion overall for everyone because
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends, by the way, they're the business owners, but
Mhm.
also working, let's say, to Oracle or Apple, whatever the big companies are.
Mhm.
That's not the same result. So you cannot
Yeah.
be fully concentrated. So that's what I really like. Yeah. So the US, there's a lot of other challenges. Like if you came here or just the environment you have to survive, first of all, right? Like this very expensive, specific in the Bay Area, etc. But if you find the right approach and you know what to do, or just be a bit kind of patient,
Mhm.
in my opinion, you need to at least have like 1 or 2 years, a bit kind of be patient
Mhm.
with your savings to establish proper business.
Mhm.
Take 1 year to learn, and the second year is actual scale the business. And
Yeah.
if you survive within 2 years, that's it. So you done it. So I think it will be easier to grow. And for example, right now, the way how I'm doing, I'm trying to step back. So basically, we're hiring the team members with a and trying to step back and just make sure the team members are doing the jobs, whatever needs to be done, and
Mhm.
put a proper structure, proper organization structure of the team members to make sure the company is growing very fast. Right now, I'm looking for the new challenges, new interesting products, new things that can bring me more value for the company. That's
Right.
what I'm doing right now.
So let me ask you this. You touched on it. So let me ask you specifically. So you make the move here 8 years ago. And did you originally pick San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, I have been actually in DC before, like in Virginia, but I have seen that those areas, like East Coast part, is a bit kind of much more politically oriented.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm from my whole life, I'm just doing like developing the software, like products, etc. So, yeah, I mean, the best place to be here is actually the Bay Area, right? Like San Francisco, like specifically like California as a state wise. Yeah, so specifically, I came intentionally with my dreams, with my ideas, and with my skill sets I got in the Europe, and basically start building the business. Yes.
So was part of the reason you moved to San Francisco was that because of the Silicon Valley
Yeah.
influence because you'd worked for Microsoft?
Yeah, I work for the tech companies, right? Like
Yeah,
software companies, and
yeah,
and because of that, yes, that's
that
the
makes
reason.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you moved to San Francisco, you start your company. What was it that motivated you? What was the one thing that happened that you said, I gotta hang my own shingle. I gotta go start my own company.
So main motivation, in my opinion, um, to become the independent. This is the
Yeah.
one thing I want to become independent. Like, yeah,
Okay.
I'm a very responsible person to myself as well. So, like, you're not imagining like at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. I'm waking up. I
Mhm.
have to sit in front of the computer. I start working,
Mhm.
like doing a gym and all things. And after 6 or 7, so
Mhm.
like still I'm working as even more than full time. But beside that, I want to become like much more independent. Be as the person who thinking like again. First of all, beside the business owner, I'm also the dad. So I'm thinking sometimes it's a bit hard to me to spend a bit time with my son, but became as independent, you need to have more time for spending the time with my family. This is
Yeah.
very important for this. Second, because I'm not the type of person to just go and sit at the office and just execute whatever is need to be done. So I'm the person who's actually, as an entrepreneur, think about new things to bring new value. So what else we can do to make it much more better? So and in my opinion, like that's not everyone has this type of skill sets, and that's normal. I mean, someone is actually can be professional, like let's say in the engineering, someone can be professional, let's say in the construction, but be as an entrepreneur. So that means there's a lot of challenges
Yeah.
and a lot of skills you need to learn beside the businesses, the classes you're taking, let's say. But while you're learning, you're just getting a lot of great experience. But
Yeah.
coming back to the point, the motivation I had to become basically independent and whatever the value I brought before to another company, um, I start thinking like, why not to bring this value to myself, right? I'm really closing those deals. Why not to work for myself?
So the reason I'm asking is, and you probably have experienced this, or maybe you know somebody who has, there's usually a moment in time. There's usually something that happens. And sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's not positive, right? But there's usually something that happens. And it's like the switch goes on, right? And it's like, I'm doing this. That's all there is to it. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Was there a moment like that
Oh,
for
yeah.
you?
So specifically when like before moving here, so like I had a switch, I need to just be in the logistic. There's a great space. I did a lot of research for
Mhm.
in that space and I got the switch. Yeah, I need to quit the job and just basically have a small savings. With a small savings completely with a I think I got like 10K or $5,000 and with that amount I just moved here and
Mhm.
see how that goes, you know. Yeah, so I got specific, but it took me a while. Just do a big kind of small research, understand things. It's just not like with the closed eyes as I start
Right.
doing things, right? So it took me right. It's not switch. I got it right now, and then I start moving. Hey, let's just do it. No, I did a lot of research before starting any jobs. Yeah,
I got you. And that's certainly understandable. I would expect you would do that. That's wise. So you make the decision to go out on your own. You make the decision to start your own company. Why did you choose? Now you're in logistics, right? You're in
yeah.
delivery.
In the last mile logistics.
Say again?
Yeah, and we're in the last mile logistics and supply chain.
Yeah. So why did you choose that? So why did you feel like that was the opportunity and here's the other question, it's two-part. The other question is, did you originally start making the deliveries yourself, like in the Bay Area, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so the story about that, why we choose the last mile, we came with the two more with our two friends together, just because we have seen a lot of gaps in the last mile logistics because the e-commerce grows, and plus the COVID related things, etc.
Mhm,
So we have seen there's a lot of demand for that, right? And one of the challenges specifically, like how we can make sure like deliver less than 1 hour.
mhm,
And that's really interesting and very interesting challenging that right now a lot of retail businesses a lot of health institutions, a lot of retail wholesales like restaurants, they're struggling
mhm,
because like specifically during the rush hour, let's say from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
mhm,
within 2 3 hours, most of those restaurants, if you know, they're sending a lot of delivery to
mhm,
their customers and there's a lot of mess ups, it needs to be on time, etc. So first, we have seen the gap that there is like less than 1 hour delivery concept is very important. And the second gap we have seen like what happened with a lot of like retail business, they have like 1,000 packages in their warehouse, how
mhm.
to make efficient optimization. So
Okay.
we came with a solution how with the route optimization engines, which we have some patents
Mhm,
behind of this, but how to efficiently make a proper optimization of those routes with the more drivers with a short period of time, how to make those deliveries to be done.
okay.
So this is the reason we came and start, you know, building the products and pivoting the products based on the different use cases.
Mhm,
And then we just got a right fit, right? So like we created the API that integrated with the e-commerce. We had like the route optimization engine that we built, and then start thinking, okay, what's the best to do it, and in which verticals to do it. And we had like 4 or 5 like very important products. Even like the big brands, like Exel mentioned, like the Google, DoorDash, they're our customers and they use
mhm,
this, and I'm really proud of that. And but to bring these products, you need to do a lot of testings.
mhm.
Some of the products we also built, it failed out, so it didn't work out. That's a normal, and you're testing, checking, it's going through. That's the reason, like we went to that industry because we have seen a lot of potential, and last mile logistics growing very dramatically. There's like 30 trillion actually the potentials in the whole US.
Mhm,
And now we're thinking expansion actually for this year to the Canada, even
mhm.
to the Europe with the technology and with the service, the way how we're doing, and we know what to do and how to do it,
Yeah,
expand to the new locations.
yeah. So one of the things that just intrigued me to no end about you and about your company
Uh-huh.
is I have fallen in love with Amazon. I have a Prime membership with Amazon, and it drives me. I mean, it just blows me away how I can order something and 4 hours later it's here.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it doesn't, not everything, of course, but it just boggles my mind, and it's not getting slower, it's getting faster. Like they're able to do things logistically, and it sounds like that's what you're doing, but you're doing it even faster than they're doing it. So a DoorDash, from what I understand, DoorDash is you call a restaurant and you say, I want this, and DoorDash and DoorDash will pick it up, right? And then they get the order ready. DoorDash goes and picks it up and brings it over. So are you the DoorDash driver?
No. So our approach is a bit different. So right now, DoorDash has their oven drivers and doing it, but they have some kind of small limitations, like with
Okay.
limitation of way of the mileages, the limitation of the number of the stops they can execute,
Right.
the type of the packages. Because right now is DoorDash not only do food, so even they're delivering the pet products, construction related products. They're actually doing a lot of things. But just
I
keep in
didn't
mind.
know that. Okay.
Yeah, they are. And basically, we connect through API to their system. We are the logistic company. Through them, we're getting the volume. So we're getting some kind of jobs to be done.
Okay.
It's under NDA. I cannot go too much to details of that. But right now, like the way how we're working, let's say we're taking Restaurant Depot. I don't know you
Okay.
heard about this. Restaurant
Yep.
Depot is one of our official partners.
Heard of
So
them. Yeah.
basically, we're taking our API, integrating with their e-commerce platform,
Mhm.
so customers goes and request the products to be delivered to their restaurants, but all of them they're assuming is Restaurant Depot is delivering, but it's not. So it's actually through API it come to us
Okay.
as middle how to say as a middleman. So
Mhm.
basically we're doing all this optimization planning of those routes and dispatching the drivers. We go pick it up from Restaurant Depot and delivering to the customer. That's
That's
how
good.
we're kind of under the sea on the way of like everyone assume is actually let's say the door let's say Restaurant Depot doing, or let's
Mhm.
say Stanford doing, or maybe I don't know like Helpful. There's other brands who use
Mhm.
us. So basically, it come through or Easy Cater. It's a catering marketplace.
Mhm.
So if companies actually goes to the easycater.com and order the food catering orders, right?
Mhm.
To deliver it to like to your location. But through them, it comes to us through API, and we just fulfill those deliveries.
Okay, well, stop just for 1 second. Just do me a favor. Not everybody that listens to this podcast is going to know all these technical terms. And so when you say API, define what you mean by API.
So API is application programming language. So basically, it's a piece of code. Just very non-technical explanation. Is a piece of code
Mhm.
that you can integrate to any different third-party system,
Okay.
which you can do some automation behind of that. So
Okay.
basically, that's what's API. That one is
So this
actually,
is
for
your
example,
software background.
yeah, it's just software you integrate with some other systems, and
Okay.
through that you can do some automation.
Okay. So somebody goes on Restaurant Depot website. I'm just going to try and simplify it, right? So this is for me too, by the way, but somebody goes on Restaurant Depot's website, and they order they order a couple of cases of flour,
Yeah,
and they need that flour quickly because they never order it ahead of time, right? Tell me
yeah,
I'm wrong, right? They order it and then they need it delivered quickly. That's where you come in, right? Because then Restaurant Depot through API, then through their e-commerce reroutes it to you, and then you get the order, and then Restaurant Depot pays you to deliver it
correct,
to the customer.
exactly. So basically,
And what
client
you're
getting the
doing when you
yeah,
say last mile delivery, you're saying up close. You're saying literally within the last mile radius,
correct,
not exactly, but generally speaking, within the last mile radius, you're the people who hire the drivers and provide the trucks that go and pick the things up and deliver them, right?
exactly,
So if it's Restaurant Depot, Restaurant Depot, somebody orders something from Restaurant Depot and then it's delivered, typically it's coming from you. So if somebody orders something from DoorDash that isn't like a single meal kind of thing for a family, it sounds like it's getting rerouted to you out of necessity. But for a company, that's got to be a real advantage to have you available to catch and help with the rest of that, right?
right,
Where some DoorDash kid in a Toyota Corolla can't pick up 2 cases of flour. You with me? Like, I'm not saying DoorDash would, but they can't pick up like catering food, right? Because catering food comes in lots of big containers, and so what you're doing is you're literally the wheels and the feet behind something like an Easy Cater, that kind of thing, right? And so
correct.
you're literally the one that makes it work. So here's a question. Now that we know that you're the magic behind what gets done, talk to us about expanding and scaling this company to 38 states. I mean, that is just, and just understand, a lot of people that are listening to this may own and probably do own a business, right? A lot of podcast listeners own businesses, and they're thinking about scaling. They'd like to scale, but they're really not sure quite how to do it. You took this on and just, I mean, my goodness, your success is amazing.
Thank you.
Talk to us about, so when people think about scaling, there's a lot of fear, right? Of the unknown. So talk to us a little bit about how you overcame all that and were able to expand into 38 states.
Great question. So let me straight to the point. A couple of step process that we did it for to scaling the business. First
Mhm,
of all, you need to, as a business, whatever type of the business you're thinking, you need to think about how to make automation on the backside. So, for
mhm,
example, the dashboards, the management panels that we had internally for our 22 employees. For first things, I start thinking, okay, what else I can do to automate that process, like
mhm,
including my department of the team, etc. So, first of all, things that we did it. And second thing is I start thinking like how we can make with the less employees, I can
mhm.
get a more results. This is the
Right.
again, for example, I'm proud of the company that I have just only 21 employees.
Mhm,
My competitors with the same sales, with the same scalability, they had like 500 employees,
mhm,
literally, that have been acquired by the big brands, by the way. There's some of few of them, because for example, I'm proud of that first of all, I need to have a small team
mhm,
because with a small team, it's better to do things. And from our management tools that we use, we did a lot of automation behind of that. So systems actually controlling the drivers, systems actually doing the proper planning of those routes accordingly. System is actually doing performance metrics on the way of like who is the best driver, who is a bad driver, and give assigning those jobs to them, who is the best drivers, etc.
mhm,
The second piece of that in my success to scale that to the new level of the to the new locations, uh, I start thinking I need to build a data-driven company. So what that says, because I hired two data scientists basically. Those PhD guys are basically trying to, based on the data, find out reportings. Like what's
mhm,
first I had to fix my sales. Okay, how much I'm making and how to make sure like at least I'm making the profit. Because always my approach, even for any type of scale to point of the businesses, you need to at least make it either like break even or at least $1 for the business because
mhm.
you as a company need to survive. This is the
Yeah,
important, right?
right.
I had the money before. I can easily go on the investors' money, put on the burn those money and just hire the more team,
Mhm,
etc., and just do more things. But no. So I need to make sure at least I'm just at least I'm cash positive, or
mhm.
at least I'm making out of one transaction $2 or $3 at least to make sure the company is surviving.
Right.
This is, in my opinion, that's really helped me during after the COVID. During the COVID, there's really literally like I'm also right now remembering those days. I was thinking of what's going on because the company really booming, and the immediately after March it just went down, and all my team members just looking to me, okay, what to do, etc. So this is really ridiculous kind of situation we had. You had to do a lot of automation. So
Mhm,
now this is the second. So third is, as Laura mentioned, data things. Like we created a lot of the performance metrics, the performance of the drivers, and yeah. So and after that, if you just set it up the process properly, and if you had like proper data driven dashboard tools where you can see the data and based on the data make a proper decision, that will give you the chance to scale. But the main um, scalability of our business, we don't have any physical location, in my opinion. So any marketplaces or any kind of e-commerce platforms they're just building,
mhm,
their goal are just with a less responsibility, with no physical location. For example, right? Like for example, one gentleman has 25 stores. So
mhm,
that stores he has to pay the rent, he has to pay the employees who's sitting inside of like those stores and selling the product, whatever. Our business is a bit different. So our approach is this. So let's say we have like let's say Easy Care. They have
mhm,
let's say operation in San Francisco or San Diego. Let's say. By the way, San Diego is our third biggest location on
mhm,
the delivery volume. Um, So right now, the restaurants, local restaurants in San Diego can easily request the drivers, and we're basically hiring the drivers local in San Diego and covering those deliveries. And
Okay.
then the same chain, let's say Sweet Green, right? One of the restaurant chain, they want to expand to Las Vegas, or they want to expand, let's say, to Florida. So in that case, local drivers in those areas can easily cover those deliveries. So basically, we're hiring local drivers in those area, and those restaurants can use the local drivers in those area and cover the deliveries.
Okay.
So that gave me the chance to expand and scale. And I remember after like California, actually the first state we went is actually Seattle, Washington State. It was challenging. Like it was really kind of first day that we started executing those. I was really under the impression, okay, that will not work out, but it worked out. So
Mhm.
and now we can easily can say we can deliver any places of the US. Any our customer will come say, can you deliver, let's say in North Carolina? I say yes, no problem,
Mhm.
because we know like how to onboard efficiently the drivers, how to execute those. But overall, again, my our type of business is a bit different from other listeners of this show. But in my opinion, you need to find the solution approach, how to scale the business on the way of automation of the process first of all,
Yeah.
and don't have enough assets. We as a company, be honest, like we don't have assets, right? So we're
Yeah.
utilizing like our drivers, the vehicles, and on that we fixing the proper pay structure to the drivers, and they're okay to do it. And
Mhm.
so with that point of view, first less or no assets for scalability point of view, because if you have a lot of asset, that will create a lot of kind of headaches and things.
Yeah.
Second is data driven approach is very important, and the third is definitely automation on your processes inside of your organization. And tools you have to use, like how to do it. Like I have a bunch of the tools right now. By the
Mhm.
way, to onboard a new employee right now, it really takes me almost like 2, 3 weeks, even 1 month, to fully educate all the tools, like our CRM management tool, our management dashboard tool, our analytical dashboard tools, our call center system tools. There's a lot of tools that you have to use,
Mhm.
etc., to help you to, educate your new employees and grow this business.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So where did you scale to first? So you started in San Francisco. Where did you scale to first and why?
Yeah, I mean, we're scaling our business. This is our style of the business way. So we're based on our type of customer. So like we had an easy care almost like 6 years or seven
Mhm.
years or something like that. So easy care say, guys, we want you to be, let's say in Seattle first, and we say, okay, no problem. So that's how we're doing. So let's say Restaurant Depot, they have a branch, let's say in San Diego. They can easily, okay, guys, we want to see you in San Diego. Let's do
Wow.
it. So it take us usually to onboard the new driver, the new team members in those locations within like 2, 3 days.
Mhm.
So set up that process, make sure it's correctly done, and then we're just starting operation there. Plus our dispatchers teams, they can also help remotely to handle those things. But
Wow.
yeah, Seattle. Then we went to the Florida. Then we very aggressively did a lot of activities in New York City, and then like right now we cover pretty much all the East Coast states, and including Hawaii, Alaska. So we started actually 6 months ago in Hawaii, Alaska. Hawaii in Honolulu. It was really excited for me.
Mhm.
Like, okay, let's see, because of different time zones,
Mhm.
specifically in Alaska as well. So yeah, so I had to build like 24/7 our operation team to make sure it's properly supported.
Yeah. So that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So so we know that that you deliver or ship, if you will, right? A restaurant depot, and we know that you work with DoorDash, that kind of thing. So give us an idea if somebody's listening to this and they need what you're doing, give us an idea of how they can go about, how do they reach out to you? How do they engage you to see if maybe you guys are a fit to work with them?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much reachable through LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, if you would type my name, Anar Mammadov, you can get me. I'm pretty much okay to be communicated.
Okay.
Uh, just do all my best to get as much possible. First of all, strategic partnerships. I'm pretty much okay to do that, and maybe just share the experience. Again,
Mhm.
each of us. I also want to get some kind of also like learnings. I'm always open to just get from someone some ideas or new
Mhm.
things, new ideas, and just grow together and pretty much. But yeah, LinkedIn is the best,
Okay.
or by email, just anar@senpex.com, the
Right.
company. Yeah, so like anytime I can be reachable. Yeah.
So is it okay if we put your email in the description for the podcast so they can reach out to you?
Yeah, so there's no problem with this.
Is that okay? Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to cover before we wrap up?
Nothing special. So again, thank you for having me. I really wish to everyone, just to reach their goals, just simply just be concentrated, do all the best, whatever it can be, just reach those goals accordingly. Just full time dedicated and just enjoy the life. That's actually the most important things.
Yeah.
Mistakes can happen, but you need to be very kind of positive mood to reach those goals. And I think in that case, you'll get those results. Whatever
Yeah.
you wish.
Well, I cannot tell you how I'm so, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so appreciative that you were here. You're such an amazing success story, and I'm so super proud of you. And I love the guitar behind you. I love the fact that you
Okay.
picked up the guitar and that you play chess and that kind of thing, to just kind of get away a little bit, and detach a little bit, because everybody has to, man. I mean, it's, self-care is a big deal, and I'm glad you're doing that. And I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of your success. Now, there's something here. They mentioned something about. Oh, okay. They're just telling us we're wrapping up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so they're right. We're wrapping up. But thank you again so much for being here and being our guest on the Mike Litton Experience. I wish you all the success. And if you have anything else that you're working on that you want to promote or unveil, you're always welcome back. Okay.
Sounds great. Thank you very much again having me, Mike.
Thanks,
I do
partner.
really
Great to meet
appreciate
you. We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.